It's Wednesday. It can only be Whiskey Wednesday. Hiya, everybody. How you all doing? It's Wednesday. It's been 2 weeks since I've done one of these. As always, unscripted. Just had a very nice tea with my wife. And yes, I want to crack on with Whiskey Wednesday this week. One of the things I want to try and do is get through it a little bit earlier, so I can get it out a bit earlier, really, on a Wednesday. Although, if it goes on for quite a while, I always have a problem trying to transfer the video from my phone onto my software to edit it and then upload it and get it out in time. So I'm going to try and crack on and get that done. So it makes it a little bit more, feels like Whiskey Wednesday. So, without a further ado, let's make this official. Been waiting for this. Definitely waiting for this. Listen. Perfect. Now we're finishing off the Balvenie. I've actually kept this for 3 Whiskey Wednesdays. Unbelievable. So disciplined. I think my last Whiskey Wednesday, before I went away on holiday, I was quite disciplined. I didn't drink as much, which was pretty cool. We'll keep that just there. So let's get this official. Shiny Precious Metals, as always, your glass is out. Thank you very much. Cheers, and cheers to everybody that's watching and supports the channel. So, oh, lovely. Missed that. So, have we got any BDI people yet that have seen something new? So, let's have a quick look. So we've got good old Cobra Stacker sitting there. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit. Sitting there keeping an eye on things for me on a Whiskey Wednesday, which is really cool. And we have Camel Finance right there, Mr. Camel. Now the interesting one is there is an addition, and I think this is really funny. I've kept with the Lego theme. And who do we have here? We have, let's see if you can guess, someone that works with logs and trees, likes old coins. It can only be the Stack Collector. That's sorry mate, it's quite funny actually. When I'm trying to work out, oh, what can I get, and I like the Lego theme anyway, and I thought, oh, how can I find out something for the Stack Collector? And when I was looking for Cobra Stackers, a figure for Cobra Stacker, I saw this and I thought, great, a man that works with trees with a chainsaw. So yeah, I put a halfpenny next to that and a, wow, crikey, a crown. Is that a Jubilee crown? Silver Jubilee crown right behind the Stack Collector. So the Stack Collector is now officially part of my Whiskey Wednesday, which is super cool. Super cool. Let's come out. So, whilst I was away on Holy Day, which was absolutely lovely, while I'm out and about, it's really funny. I used to hate it. I used to go in, my wife would go in these little shops and bits and pieces, and I'd just stand outside and waste time and people watch. And this year, I've gone into all these little shops looking for ideas of, oh crikey, what can I find for my Whiskey Wednesday props, and what can I have in the backgrounds, and how can I show some appreciation yeah, have certain influence, certain YouTubers that have influenced me on my journey, and I can find things that represent that. So obviously I've got the Cobra Stacker, the Camel for Camel Finance. We've now got officially the Stack Collector doing his stuff with his chainsaw. And anyway, I found some really nice little tiles, which I want something to represent me. So I thought these were really cool. So we have CPM officially a part of Whiskey Wednesday, which is really cool. And whilst I was looking, I thought, oh, one of the hardest things I've had to try and find is something that represents somebody that I've followed from pretty much when I got into watching YouTube videos on silver and gold and investments. And excuse me, I want to have a puff. And it can only be this guy here, who's going to take pride and place on my Whiskey Wednesday, because I know this guy loves his whiskey. And he actually gave me, to give him credit, and I give him a ton of credit actually, generally as a person, I've got a lot of respect for him, Mr. 365. So I couldn't resist that, and I thought, great, CPM one side, 365 the other, and what would deservedly bring us together on a main theme, and that's a whiskey. So all of you guys here watching the video and representing my Whiskey Wednesday, cheers everybody. Which is super cool. So how you all been? Now no one's asked me to talk about anything. I have got a few things I want to express tonight, and I'm going to try to be really good, but I can't guarantee it. But before I go any further, what's been going on? Even though I was away, I still can't help it. Watch YouTube and see what's going on every now and then. But it was lovely to be away. It was nice to have a break. It's nice to shut off. It was for myself and my wife. It was the first time we've been away without any of our children abroad for must be 19, 18 years, which is a long time. And so yeah, we treated ourselves, had a really great time. But before we went away, I just want to say the Cobra Stacker. He, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. The time goes so quick. I did help him out doing a bit of a trial, doing an auction, which obviously he wanted to do. So I said I'd help you out, but which he did. And then he moved that on. That was pretty successful as a little trial. And then he moved it on to the Sunday before I actually went away. I was going away that in the early hours of Monday morning. So I thought, well, it's not worth me going to bed. So it's a great bit of entertainment. And yeah, that was I thoroughly enjoyed. Hopefully, anyone that's watching this that actually saw Cobra's auction with the Stack Collector, who done a fabulous job in supporting Cobra Stacker in his auction, and I think it was absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It passed away, what was it, 3 hours? 3.5 hours maybe. Fascinating, great to watch. I clap you both. Obviously I've got to clap Cobra a lot because I know he's put a ton of time into that, but you know, I think when you combine Cobra, Stacker and the Stack Collector together, you're always in for a good entertaining evening. So well done you two guys. The auction was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great way for me to purchase things that that possibly I can't be bothered. Well, it's probably the right thing to say. I am bothered, but sometimes I can't be bothered, and it's always easier for someone else to do it. So I think Cobra Stacker's onto a bit of a winner there for all of us, which is fantastic. The auction I thought was great. I managed to get a few. It's always cool when you're trying to bid on something. And it forced me. I don't know about anybody else. But it forced me, because I just applied the same ethics of what I want to do in investment, and it forced me. The nice thing is that Cobra Stacker shows everything, pre-shows it, so you get a bit of an idea of what's coming up. And then, because I was watching it on my computer, I'm very fortunate after another 2 iPhones. So I had all those set up, and I was linked into different websites and looking at prices of different bits and pieces. And I'm thinking, okay, what's my limit on this? What's the limit on that? If I go for it, what's my limit on that? And it made it really, really interesting, and I loved it. It was really cool. There was only one bit that I was a bit fed up about, was I haven't got. And this person here is going to absolutely, if he watches this, which he probably will absolutely be creasing up because he knows what I'm going to say. I haven't got a Libertad at all, and Cobra had a 2-ounce Libertad, which is quite. It's always cool to get something a little bit unconventional. So I thought, oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like that. Now this guy has been, he's been out the picture for 4 weeks, pretty much. Which is fair, fair enough. And I quite sit quietly, and this come up, and it was bet on, not bet on, bid on, and then I jumped in, and said, yeah, there's my bid, and then out the blue, Mr. 365 decides to wake up and come out of his coffin or whatever. I don't mean that literally. I'm playing. And starts bidding against me, and I thought, and as soon as he did that, I thought, yeah, right, you want this, don't you? And I'm thinking, well, I want it, he wants it. How far would this go? So I've done my research anyway, and I set myself a limit, but I just had a sneaky feeling if Mr. 365 is willing to come out of his duvet, because he was waiting to go to bed, apparently, to go to work. He's willing to sit there quietly, sneakily, stealthily, which I have much admiration for, the way he goes about what he does. I thought, well, I've got no chance of getting this unless I go stupid on it. And I was really tempted. I was so tempted. I'm really proud of myself, actually, because I got up to my limit, which was, I don't know, £90, £95, £93, something like that. I thought I'll push it to that, and fair play. If he desperately wants it, he's going to have to go over what I considered that price. Which he did, and I had to let it go. And I thought, you cheeky little sod. But this is what I man, I can say things like that, because he knows I don't mean it in that way, in a disrespectful way. He knows I admire him and what he does on his channel. If he doesn't know it, then he's got to be living under a rock. 365 for me is I have total admiration for him, and he knows this. And we're pretty similar to a degree, albeit I'm probably old enough to be his dad. But I totally admire who he is, what he does, what he stands for. So yeah, it was quite a pleasure to lose that bid to him, to be honest. But it was funny. It did make me laugh. I was saying a few F's and whatever. As soon as as he come up, I knew it. I thought, oh, sod it. This is crazy. This is going to be interesting if I get this. But no, fair play. That's what it's all about. And I know he has an affiliation to that particular coin, which is great, and I'm pleased he got it. And he got it, paid a good price. So hopefully, Cobra made some money out of it. It was entertaining. It was very entertaining for me. And 365 got what he wanted. Excuse old Big Ben there in the corner. So there's a cheers to Mr. 365. To you, dude. So anyway, yeah, getting back to the auction, I think that's really cool. And Cobra Stacker, he works really hard. And I'm sure it's going to be really interesting, but I'm sure this is... well, I'm hoping for him and for the community and for the channels that are out there that this will become a big diary date every month. And I wish him well, and I wish everyone well that manages to get their little pieces of silver or what, a bit of gold here and there through the community, which is super cool, absolutely super cool. So that was really good. Anyway, the end. The other funny thing, it was quite interesting night actually. The other thing that Cobra Stacker, I noticed, he had a 10-ounce anniversary maple with the double maple, Canadian maple, on there, and I saw it all the way through. And I thought, oh, yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be really cool. I do like the look of it. Just looks nice. Which maybe not the best investment advice for anybody, just to buy something that looks nice. But I'm going to get onto that a bit later on today. But it's just something I thought, yeah, I'd like to have that in my collection. Hark at me, collection. When have I become a collector? Obviously, quite soon, and I'm really enjoying that. But yes, anyway, this 10-ounce, sure it was a 10-ounce, yeah, I'm sure it was the very last piece, and I'd mentioned it to see whether he was going to do it or not towards the end of the auction. Anyway, he put it up. I had a rough idea of how much it would be up for. I think he started out for about 240, and I thought, yeah, I'll get him for that. No one else had been. I think every cloud had bought a 10-ounce bar, maybe two. I'm not sure. I don't think anyone else bought any 10-ounce pieces. So I thought, oh, if I hang on, I know Cobra Stacker's my mate, but at the end of the day, I will still get it at the price that I want to get it at. I thought, yeah, if he starts out for 240, I don't think anyone else is going to bid on it. So, of course, yeah, there's me on death's door, been up for hours, going on holiday in 2 hours' time. Pretty tired. And there he goes. He starts it off 240. It was hilarious. And I go 240, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's it. And I don't think anyone else had bid on it. It's the end of the auction. Maybe no one else has got any money, or they're prepared to spend any money on it. And lo and behold, G&S Gold puts in, I think it was £5 more, 245. And as soon as I saw it, I thought to myself, oh, for God's sake, I know that's the Cobra Stacker son. young guy. I think he's the same age as my oldest boy. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow. And I actually even typed in the comments, how can I bid against the principles of what I stand for in my channel, and that's to help and let people young get involved with investing and stacking. And I couldn't stop chuckling to myself. And give Cobra his due. He was saying, and I think the Stack Collector said, you know, fair's fair. If you want to go for it, go for it. And I thought, oh, I just can't. I can't do it. I wouldn't do it to my son. I wouldn't do it to any young person, you know. And I just thought that's my sod's law. So yeah, I lost out on that opportunity, but I'm sure there'll be another one. I think Cobra Stacker released another video today. I'm sure I watched it earlier. I'm sure it was today. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that was really interesting. Some more items that may be up for this auction, maybe for future auctions. But yeah, there's some stuff in there that I've already got my eye on, which is kind of exciting because now it's almost like I've got an outlet, and probably for most of you, maybe if you look at it this way, you've got an outlet for buying now that's coming to you. I haven't got to go to someone else looking around. It just obviously Cobra Stacker's videos pop up on my feed, and I can see what's coming up. So that's really cool, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that was the that was the auction, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It was quite an experience to take part in as a buyer. I wish him a lot of luck. The next one's going to be interesting. I think he's got oh crikey, Backyard Bullion helping him this time. That's going to be interesting, just to see what goes on there. So yeah, it's a kind of a the nice thing about the UK community now, it's now got another thing that's once a month at the moment. Something for us all to look forward to, and we can all benefit from it and enjoy something. And it also brings a community together because we start to see familiar names and bits and pieces, which is absolutely wonderful. So that was really cool. What else happened? Then we had the big reveal. Mr. 365 is back on the scene. He did his video, first video, and he's done a few since, which is so super cool to see. I ain't gonna blow stuff. I've blown so much smoke up this guy's backside for legitimate reasons, because he continues to inspire me as part of my journey, which is so cool. And yeah, cheers, dude, for that. I appreciate it a lot. It's really funny. I can be very egotistical at times, but I so respect. I have so much respect for anybody at any age, of any circumstance, when they can do stuff that inspires my journey at a personal level. And yeah, there's quite a few guys that I've met since I've been on YouTube, particularly since I've been on. I've had my own channel, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it all, which is really cool. So I'm pleased. Yeah, we've got 365 back, future investments, and the Stack Collector, Mr. Tree Surgeon there, a landscape gardener. It's probably more your professional job. Yeah, they're still doing their thing. It's really cool to watch. You know, and watching the Stack Collector, you know, the Stack Collector's really inspired me to look at coinage in a different way. I'm constantly sorting. I've only got these 250p's, but even my wife is now like, whenever we get any change, we're having a little sort through and having a look at unusual things. And it's really cool because it may not be relevant to what I'm trying to do long term, but it's just making me think, you know, and anything that makes us all think on our journeys is, it may not be relevant, but indirectly it's very relevant because it makes us think of it. So that's really cool. So yeah, it's really great. Now I'm going to a bit of a shout out while I'm at it, because I just want to say, you know, I get continued support. And I always want to just say thank you to the people like Every Cloud. He always writes great comments and encouraging comments. GNS Metals, you know, it will always put some comments on my channel. Really appreciate it, and I love to read them out. I haven't got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and it must be awful if you've got hundreds and you want to read them out. So that'd probably take a video on its own for 3 hours. 365 constantly shared one of my videos again today. Constantly give me feedback. Also will give me like little hints and tips in the background that no one else sees. That supportive role, really cool. But we all do it for each other to a degree. The Stat Collector, constant support. Jim Wem, yeah, he's what a lovely guy he is, over in Australia. Sent me some lovely pictures in response to my last video on the kookaburras. Actually sent me a beautiful email, which will be in it. I'm going to talk about it in another video. But he sent me some pictures of real life kookaburras that live in his blooming backyard. How wonderful is that? It's so super cool. Cobra Stacker as always. Shiny Precious Metals as always. Cranky Stacker. Stephen. Camel Finance. Come back to Camel Finance in a minute. You know, these people are constantly showing their support and help in promoting my channel by commenting, and it's really cool. It is really cool. Wizzy Wizards, another one. There's just so many. Future Investments. He would send me a message every now and then. It's superb. Absolutely superb. But there's a lot of people also that I do know probably watch the videos and they don't say anything. And they're just CJ Sterling. You know, he's another guy, and he's got his own channel now. I need to check that out more. I keep forgetting to. Yeah, but I'm sure there's quite a few guys that watch my videos that don't say anything, and that's, you know, I want to say thank you to those guys as well. Anyone that doesn't make a comment, you haven't got to do, excuse my language, F all. You ain't got to do nothing. You don't have to leave a comment or anything. It's cool if you do. It's great if you subscribe. If you like the video and you watch it and just leave a like, that's really cool. You don't have to say anything, and that's what I do these for. So yeah, I salute you all guys as well. The hidden ones may not say a lot. So that's really cool. So yeah, we've had 365 back. We've had the auction. Superb. Okay. Subject matter. My holiday. I'm briefly going to mention Camel. Now, I've been in touch with Camel, and hopefully within the next week we're going to put a video together where we have a chat. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, Mr. Camel up there. I don't know what's going to come out of the video. We haven't got an agenda yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of my questions, a lot of his questions, a bit of philosophy, a bit of drinking, hopefully. but not too much of it. Maybe, I don't know. Really looking forward to that. So keep an eye on for that. I'll probably post something in my community page when I know roughly when it's going to be. But we're hoping to get something together maybe in the next 4 or 5 days. So I'm really looking forward to that. Really excited about that. And on that subject, I would like to say, please, like, if anyone wants to come on, or I go on their channel and we just like chew the cud over certain bits and pieces, or have a little bit more of a, I don't know, semi-serious talk about what we think about investments and what the reality of investing to us as an individual means, you know. Anything like that, then that'd be cool. So reach out. Definitely, my email is always in the description. So I know a few of you have reached out, and we're just waiting to put some dates together. That'd be really cool. Yeah, cool. Right, my holiday. Let's have a subject. Subject. What we're going to talk about? I'm going to talk about my observations whilst I was on holiday. Now, other than having a beautiful time, one of the biggest things I really observed whilst I was away, cheers everybody, was the demographic. I'm going to put some money out because we're going to talk about money. It makes a change to have some cash, doesn't it? This is the thing about, I've never been on an all-inclusive holiday before. I actually come home with money, which was amazing. This stuff. Okay, so one of the interesting things about my holiday was the demographic of people. Now, I've got to be very careful how I put this across because I don't want it to come across as disrespectful. So, one of my bugbears was the coming across old, I'm going to say it, old, arrogant, entitled, unfortunately, mostly English people. Which is nothing new to a degree. It wasn't everybody. There was just a few things. Now, me being me, I'm just very observant of it. And I used to sit there when I was relaxed in certain parts of this beautiful hotel we stayed in. And I just watch people. And do you know what? I was absolutely flabbergasted when I look at whether people think they're privileged or entitled, how lucky they are. How lucky they are to be in a position in their lives when they can afford to go away, have a sport holiday, and then at the time think that they're entitled to everything. I get it, don't worry. They're entitled to everything, and on top of that, be arrogant about it as well. And I sat there and I just would observe this going on. It wasn't that bad, but it was obviously there, and probably all of us have witnessed it to a degree. Maybe some of us are there, I don't know. Maybe, well, according to my wife, I can be like it sometimes any day of the week. But hey ho. But anyway, I used to sit there and I think, oh my God, you know, these. I recognise that there's quite a few people of a certain age have been lucky enough to live through a bubble of abundance where money wasn't debased, inflation wasn't at its highest, work was fairly consistent to a degree over a long period of time across your 40 years of working, 46 years of working, where pensions were in a not abundance, but there was money there, and the pension schemes were good, and the investments were good because the bubble was good. The interest rates were low. I know there was times in the 80s and 90s where it wasn't, but it was for a few years. It wasn't for a long period of time. Pardon me. And I used to sit there and I think, do these people really understand how lucky they are to be able to live through that in comparison to the 20, 30, 40-somethings of this generation and those generations propping up their pension schemes while working really hard, having to save God knows whatever. And all those things were going through my mind, which has been a regular theme on my channel. How I've got young children that are going to try and want to do what I have done and try and want to do what, many of these people that have been lucky enough to live through. And it's freaking fucking hard work. Excuse me, here we go. The real CPMs here. It's friggin' hard work, when you've got a constant barrage of the credit problem, the money problem, the fiat problem, that isn't spoken about too much, the debasement of our currency and financial system, our currencies. The debasement alone is heartbreaking. You've got inflation that is biting us all in the balls, but it's going to bite the younger guys out there more than it will for the more fortunate of us, to a degree, although we're still affected by it. But it's the debasement, it's really dawned on me that it's not talked about too much. Everyone goes on about inflation, hedging against inflation. Where's the hedge against debasement? Some people might, I don't know what I'm talking about after time, but I think I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, inflation is going to kill your currency, but it's been debased as well. The more they keep printing these, you get your inflation, obviously, but it's being debased at such a great extent. So you young guys are going to have to do so much more if you get that opportunity. And I sat there and when I observed people that have, fair enough, a lot of people will turn and say, well, I've worked hard, Yeah, well, that's great when you've got the whole system supporting you in that. But when it's not supporting you, it's working against you, fuck me. Does that give you the right to be arrogant and entitled? Where's the sympathy? Where's the, But anyway, that really got to me, and that in turn really made me think so hard about what I'm doing. Just the simple terms of debasement of currency is ridiculous. When you look at the dollar over the last 100 years, it's 98% less than what it was. Crazy. And you've had inflation go up and down like a yo-yo in that time, but it's still worth 99% less. Think about it. So, I'm going to pick this little story up with Camel, because Camel Finance, he's got a better understanding in the finance world than I have. But if you think about it, when we're all sitting there looking at how our investments how we're converting our money into silver, gold, whatever we're doing with it. I like my Bitcoin. Some people might like property. Some people might like, a bit of everything really. When you start looking at putting value at the end of your goal, how do you measure that value when it's being debased like there's no tomorrow? And you've got inflation. It's a massive question that I sat there quietly on holiday asking myself, oh my God, how different it is now. And I'm at the latter part of my life, recognising it. How different is that now for the young guys, you guys that are watching this in your 20s, 30s, early 40s? Looking at what you've got to do to try and get a fairly decent standard of living when you approach whatever your retirement age is. What's your retirement portfolio going to be worth? And what's it going to be worth in? How are you going to value it? Shocking. It's really shocking, and I wanted to express that because that may... Oh God, my screen's wonky, for God's sake. Let's sort that out. It needs to be like that, doesn't it? That's a bit better, isn't it? It's the unfortunate thing about having a shelf. But yeah, that really hit home with me whilst I was away, very quietly. I didn't make a fuss or anything, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time away. It was lovely. But I did sit there and think, oh, there's me going mad on what I think is right, but I'm missing small proportions of what's obvious. And they're only obvious when you start to educate yourself. And then that makes you really think, oh, is this the right thing to do? Is this the wrong thing to do? Is it the right thing to do? Because, like a great example for me, at the moment, and I'll spit it out to you, I have got a real hard decision to make with my bullion silver. This stuff. Because now I'm looking at it as, okay, it has value, but what is value? Now, some people might be screaming at this video going, don't you know what value is? Well, that's 22 quid or 25 pounds or 26 pounds or 30 pounds including VAT, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, cool, I get that. But if you're 30 pounds, 25 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds has been devalued that much because of our current system, by the time I retire, what's its value? First of all, what you're going to convert it into, if that thing you're going to convert it into is absolutely worthless. Hopefully it won't be. Hopefully there'll be something out there. CBDC. Can't see what else there will be. Maybe Bitcoin. Who knows? That's what I think. That's where I just have, and I want to pass this on, and I'm sure people can just say, shut the fuck up, what are you talking about? That's great. Pardon me. But there's some logic in there somewhere, and that's the type of thing I want to try and bring out in my mind and get everyone to think about a little bit. So now I'm evaluating certain parts of my portfolio. I hate that word because it makes me sound really posh, but it is what it is. Evaluating certain parts of my portfolio to try and recognise at whatever the goal end is, it's going to have value in the context of how I would like to spend my retirement or whatever you're going to do as a goal. How am I going to convert that into something of value that's going to give me the same sort of privileged, but not at the same extent of what I was saying about old, entitled, arrogant people. But they're enjoying a lovely life, and fair play and good luck to them, you know. But I just sit there and I just think, wow. And I don't want to put the poopers up anything and make this a negative video, but it's real. And if we can't look at the reality of the whole system and see how fucked it is, then I'm not doing. Thank you. It's 7:30. Then I'm not doing my job. This is how I talk to my children, and I don't mean that I'm talking to you guys like I'm talking to my children. This is how we talk. It's I'm not right. I'm not wrong. It's good to evaluate what we're doing, and just make sure that what we're doing has value, and not just rely on, my God, everyone just saying, yes, this is the right thing to do, this is the right thing to do, because by fuck, no one's really got your interest at heart unless it's giving them money of some description. It's really important. I don't think there's more of an important time in life where we actually take back our own. And I know it's tough, and I know, God, my kids work, they're bloody working all sorts of hours. But at the end of the day, if you don't find that time to take hold of what you're trying to do and educate yourself, then I will just feel so. It sounds awful. I will still feel so sorry that so many people have been led down the wrong garden path, and to see all of their energy that they've put into exchanging that time and their own energy into believing what they're doing is right, as one big disappointment. I hope it doesn't happen, but the more you dig around and the more you have a look, and the more you just observe, not take other people's word for it, but just observe it for yourself. Just observe it. Then you sit there and you start to listen to that little heart of yours query certain things that you're doing, and if you start to listen to that, then it gets rid of the egos, it gets rid of everything else, and you start to actually see it for what it really is. And then once you start to see it for what it really is, then you can start to maneuver yourself into doing what is the most productive thing for you to do, whatever that is, goal-wise. And that was a massive observation for me. It really opened my eyes up. So it means I'm going to change yet again. And I'm a great advocate for this. You can't just stick and say, this is what I'm going to do. Well, you can, obviously. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to get to my goal. Fuck that. You've got to change. You've got to change it up to get to where you need to go. Go backwards to go forwards, go backwards to go forwards. And that was so evident when I was away. Just by pure observation of just seeing and thinking, oh my God, listening to people say, oh yes, we just had this 2 weeks here, and then in October we're going away for another week, and then in January we're spending another 2 weeks away, and then in March we're having another week away, and then we go back to the UK and have some time in England, and I'm sitting there thinking, shit. Let me ask you this question. today, over the next 12 months, you do that. How much is that going to cost you? Where are you getting the money from? Today. And if you're, I don't know, 30 years of age, you've got to think, okay, in 35 years' time, with inflation, debasement, everything getting more expensive, and currency just worthless, unless the system all changes, but we don't know that yet. There's a good possibility. How much have you got to be earning or having a pot to allow you to have a week away here, a week away there, 2 weeks there, a week away there, living the life that you deserve? Living that life. Living that. And you're entitled to it. You know, this is the contradiction of what I'm going to say. You are entitled to it because you've exchanged your time, pardon me, and energy working the system hard. To if your retirement goal is to have 3 or 4 holidays a year, and you know, a paid home and good food and a good social life, you know, to enjoy it and whatever, and treat your children or your grandchildren, hopefully, you know, have a really good, seriously think about how much money you will need, and then be brutally honest with yourself and tell me whether how much of this you honestly believe will get you there. Same with gold. Same with this shit. Same with that shit. It's scary. It's scary when you can see that the system's changing and it's not as easy. At the moment, will they? Won't they? Will they start printing this like there's no tomorrow to throw it into the economy? You're at the last line of it. You're not at the beginning of it all. You know, the Bank of England don't print off, I don't know, 10 billion pounds, and then you get on the receiving end of it. Jesus Christ, you're at the bottom end of the scale. You know, and they're just printed off, it's hypothetical, they printed off another 10 billion. Well, how much is that? What is that? How is that debased, that M2 money supply? And what effect has that got on the way you live your life? There's a certain amount of people that have been lucky enough not to have to worry about that. And that's what I was observing. And that pisses me off because I think of my children. Hard enough for me. We're lucky enough to have a pension that's been building up for God knows how long. Doing okay. But the same applies. Same applies to me. Yeah. Say what if I got £1 million in my pension pot? What's that really worth in another 10 years' time? Pretty well, pretty good. If you're 20 and you've got 40, 50 years to go, going to need £1 million at the rate it's going at the moment. Times that by 5, maybe 6, to have that same sort of lifestyle, unless the system changes. It's interesting, very interesting. It's so yeah. I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute because I've dribbled on for quite a while. I haven't sworn too much. I haven't drunk a lot of whiskey. That's pretty boring of me. But I thought that was quite apt, and it's inspired me to really work hard because now I've got both of my boys. Dad, what do I do with my money? What's the best thing to do? So it's inspiring me to try and work out some logical format that they can enjoy and try to be protect. I know a lot of people say about protecting their wealth, but I like to put it across in a different way. I want people to protect their time and energy that they spend for 40 or 50 years putting into a system to make sure it gives them the chance to have and benefit what I've just seen on holiday. How about that? Because that isn't the value. Yeah, of course, that's the value. Yeah, this is value, but you've got to value what you're doing. You've got to value yourself. You've got to value your hard sweat, tears, not the shirkers and the people that, and I don't blame them for doing it, that's the system, But the people that are prepared to get off their arse and really work hard and try and live this dream that is increasingly being made hard for them to live it, to what I've witnessed whilst I was on holiday. You're entitled to it. Not entitled to be an arsehole. So that's the moral of my holiday was great, don't get me wrong. We had a ball, we had a great time. Me and my wife had a lovely time. I've never walked so much, I've never eaten so much good food, had a nice drink, I've tried a few new whiskies, which is really cool. Met some nice people as well. Really enjoyed the location, it was stunning, the weather was gorgeous. But I love my kids. I really do. And I really want them to be able to experience what I experience. And enjoy it. So watch out for me and my little chat with Camel, because he'll have a far greater knowledge of finance from his experience of what he does and explaining stuff. And they're the questions I want to ask, and what's the greatest way that someone else professionally in that, because if we talk about it, it's not, don't fucking do anything I do, but if we talk about it, it makes us think, and we're becoming a society of just entitlement, people thinking for us. Fuck that. Jeez, man, we've been given a brain. And we should be able to think for ourselves and live within the laws of the land that we live in. If not, move on. So yeah, it was fascinating. This isn't a downer. I never want to be a downer. I just want to be a realist, and by expressing this realism is my thought process. I'm still a massive believer in your CEO, man. The way my videos are going to be now is trying to push some real core logic into what I'm trying to do for myself. May work, might not work, I don't know. And I want to document that and try and be real with myself, not get out of this fantasy world a little bit that I have a tendency to live in, and think that everything and everybody's telling me the right thing to do. No, fuck are they? That's down to me to work it out, and I want to help my kids. I want to help as many people as I can. But thinking for yourself and educating for yourself is the key, is the real key. So yeah, no downer. I thought I was going to get really carried. I've been really good tonight, actually. I thought I was going to get really passionate, but I found a new way, a new relaxed way of expressing myself. I hope that comes across. I hope you like my backdrop. I love my 365. I like my CPM. I love my Cobra. I love my Camel. I love my Stack Collector. I love my shiny precious metal glass. I love my whiskey. The moral of today's Whiskey Wednesday is definitely, guys, just bloody look after yourself and really don't be swept under this everything will be fine. Because I hope and pray that everything will be fine, but you've got to make everything be fine. And you've got to take that, you've got to push yourself, you've got to push your learning, you've got to push your understanding, you've got to push your observation. When you're out and about, observe what's going on. Observe demographic, observe, what the hell are you going on about? CPM. Observe what's going on around you. And then that'll make you a better judgment of what you're supposed to be doing for yourself, and it'll give you a better idea of what maybe you need to be looking for. And then you can start querying, am I doing the right thing? Is this really the right thing? Where's my risk curve? Is my proportion of investment right for what I'm trying to achieve? Am I top heavy in this? Is this really going to do what I want it to do? Do I need to adjust it? And it's good to adjust. It means, and all this means, that all of a sudden we have to get off our arse and be a bit more proactive in what we're doing. And I know that could be, a lot of people could scream, well, it's all right for you, is it? You and your wife. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm sitting here doing this, and it's not for the love of getting paid off of YouTube, I can assure you for that. You know, stop making excuses. You're special. And treat yourself special. It's all good. And I hope that I can be a part of a community of people that are that way. And that will be great for me from this point of view. I will support everybody. I will support you younger guys, ladies and gentlemen, that are trying your fucking nuts out to have that sort of lifestyle that I've just witnessed this week. That's a treat for me and my wife. I'm hoping that we can do that more often, but that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm prepared to learn. That's why I'm prepared to alter things. That's why I'm prepared to rebalance my portfolio, to give it the best chance possible. That's why I'm prepared to listen to a zillion, million different ideas, but I won't marry any of them at all. So there you go. That's my Whiskey Wednesday. Oh my God, an hour's gone. What's coming up? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a calm chat. I do love doing this. I love just expressing myself, which is cool, and I hope it comes across in a positive way, although it might sound awfully negative. But then you've got to look in the shadows to see the light. That's my motto. What's coming up? We have more videos of stuff that I've bought, more creative stuff coming up, which is super cool. I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, I'll keep you posted on my camel video that we're going to put together. Really looking forward to that. That hopefully will be a one not to miss for sure. Yeah, looking forward to that one a lot. So other than that, take care. Look after yourselves. My God, look after yourselves. And just keep doing what you're doing and change and Never be scared to admit that, oh shit, I'm going to change. If you run a channel and you want to do things differently, do it differently. For God's sake, don't worry about what other people think. If you don't have a channel, do what's right for you all the time. It's so important. Do what's right for you, but fuck, learn. You know, gotta learn. And a part of that learning is sometimes take your head out these bloody phones and look at what's really going on. You'd be amazed, absolutely amazed, if you just sit quietly and observe. Crazy. Anyway, thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed my first Whiskey Wednesday back after my holiday. And yeah, look out for more stuff. I'm going to make sure. Actually, before I went away on holiday, I tried to make sure I had a video out every day. So I'm going to make that a bit of a discipline for myself and try and make sure I put some content out every day. I'm loving my collecting. I'm getting really into that. I am in a bit of a dilemma, which I'm going to put in another video actually and talk about my normal bullion against my collectible pieces and the dilemma I see myself in and what I want to do going forward. So look out for that one. That's going to come up as well. Take care. I really do mean that. Look after yourselves. And yeah, see you again soon. I'll try and get this one out as soon as I can. Cheers. See you later. Bye.